You're listening to Bodify Insider from Bodify Functional Fitness.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos al podcast Bodify Insider, que ya tenemos bastante que no hacemos podcast. Hemos estado muy ocupados, sobre todo con la segunda locación de Bodify, 2110 Lomas del Sur. Váyanse a nuestro Facebook, Instagram, para que conozcan un poquito más de esta nueva locación, donde esta locación también tiene mucho que ver con el tema del día de hoy, que por cierto me acompaña Ferdin. Bienvenido al podcast.
Hola, buenos días.
Días, tardes, noches.
Wherever you see this video.
Exacto. Y bien, el día de hoy queríamos platicar más que nada de nuestro producto principal. Como ustedes saben, Bodify es un centro de entrenamiento donde hacemos clases en grupo. Y además, al menos en la locación del norte, también hay entrenamiento personal y clases de especialidad, que vamos a hablar un poquito más de ellas en otra ocasión. Y hoy nos vamos a enfocar primordialmente en el programa de Bodify Strong. Y para eso, qué mejor que la persona que básicamente lo arma semana a semana, se le ocurra, ve algún video en Instagram, dice esto está cool para el programa, lo metemos. Ferdin, bienvenido al podcast.
Thank you. Yes, the Bodify Strong program, I kind of have been working on it the past few weeks.
¿Es cierto que todo lo sacas de Instagram?
I look on Pinterest.
Pinterest, okay.
Pinterest is, I just Google what workouts are going to kill them. No, the workouts that I've been working on, it's all feedback from stuff that we've done before. And I talk to all the coaches every single time, and they give me their feedback, and they tell me how the classes are going, and what exercises work, what exercises didn't work, and we adjust along the way. But the Bodify Strong program stays to its methodology, which is we're working on building muscle for the first 25 to 30 minutes, and then towards the last 15 to 20 minutes of class, let's get you to burning some calories and drop some fat. At least that's what Bodify Strong is. It's our bread and butter. It's shown great results in the past. We're continuing to build it more and more. And the fact that it works, we're just trying to make it better. And I guess we're working more on our member experience as of late. So making sure that the members are having fun while doing it.
Y eso es de lo más importante. Pero vámonos un poquito más atrás, Tony.
Yes.
Bodify Strong comienza desde por allá del 2017, aproximadamente, 2017.
Yes, since 2017.
Más o menos.
Yes, is when we started the development, established 2017 Bodify Strong.
Cuando estaba Bodify en Crescent Loop, y bueno, teníamos un sistema de estaciones, ¿no? Que estábamos haciendo durante el workout del día. Y desde luego por ahí en el 2020 llega COVID, comenzamos a ponernos todos en cuadritos, y era como, pues básicamente el programa Strong tuvo que adaptarse a la situación de COVID en esos momentos, ¿no? Que simplemente estabas en tu lugarcito, y bueno, básicamente era la manera segura, de acuerdo a las indicaciones que nos daban, y por eso se encapsuló de esa manera el programa de Strong. Eventualmente el bicho aún sigue ahí, pero ya podemos regresar a lo que es la esencia del programa, las bases, y es como ahí donde regresa nuevamente Tony, y ahora pues básicamente nos muestra cómo podemos ahora hacer estas estaciones, que es el mismo programa, ¿verdad, Tony?
Yes.
El mismo programa, mismo enfoque, pero ahora en pequeños bloques.
So that's the message that we want to give out today, is that it's the same program, it's just we just adapted to the times. Like he said, COVID created us. We had 44, 46 slots, and it was everybody in their own space. And while the program worked, one thing that was missing is we saw that the members weren't really interacting with each other anymore. When we started at Crescent Loop, it was more freelance, and we built a community. Everybody knew each other. Everybody knew their names because they interacted. And after COVID, and everybody has to stay within their own little box, now it was more a singular experience. You were just in your box, and you weren't really talking to the person behind you. You didn't really see the person next to you, unless you came with friends. But now we've transitioned. We've transitioned to stations, which also allows us for less equipment. We don't have to purchase more and more equipment every time. But we've kind of adapted into more stations and more time circuits. And I believe that workouts have improved, especially since we have the opportunity to include even different equipment. Instead of just dumbbells, bands, and kettlebells, now we're including even ski rows and bikes and something people like to have fun with. Because like I said, some of the feedback that we were getting is, it was too stationary. Now you're moving around. Now I see a lot of people having fun, high-fiving, more people interacting with each other. And we love that that's happening, because one of the most important things in fitness is the community, and feeling a sense of you're doing this, we're all in the same boat, and we all want to look better and perform better and get better every single day.
Oye, por ejemplo, Tony, ¿para quién es este programa? ¿Para quién es el programa de Strong? O sea, ¿quién puede llegar? ¿Qué metas puedes tener? ¿A quién beneficia realmente?
I would say the goal is everybody. Because whether you want to look good, you just want to look healthy, or you're getting older, you always want to maintain muscular strength. Because that's how you maintain your height, you maintain your posture. Your bones need help from your muscles. If you don't strength train, then whatever, the saying goes, whatever you don't use, you'll lose. So if you don't strength train, if you don't lift weights, then you'll start losing muscle. And if you start losing muscle, your bones start getting weaker as well. So everybody needs to strength train, no matter what.
If you don't use it, you lose it?
If you don't use it, you lose it. So let's say you get hurt and you can't work out for 2 months. All of a sudden, you come back 10 pounds lighter. And you say, hey, I lost weight, but realistically, you lost muscle, you lost water retention. That's where you see, in other words, because you were not using it. But if you continue to strength train, you continue to build your muscles, you continue to keep your muscular structure, and you look lean, you look strong, that's why I say it's for everybody. If you want to look good, you want to maintain your health, that's why I say it's for everybody, not just the people that just want to have a beach or a wedding coming up.
Y es algo que lo vemos, ¿no? Aquí, por ejemplo, llegan personas de todos los casos, ¿no? Como desde personas muy principiantes que llegan porque nunca han hecho ejercicio. De repente el doctor les dicen, hey, necesitas comenzar a hacer ejercicio. Por ejemplo, específicamente la gente que tiene diabetes. ¿Ok? Básicamente no es tanto la alimentación en cuanto a los diabéticos, sino también que comiencen a proteger ese músculo, ¿no? Ya que la diabetes básicamente afecta mucho los músculos. Entonces, vemos gente que nunca ha entrado a un gimnasio y de repente ya la tenemos aquí haciendo movimientos laterales, verticales, movimientos funcionales, como lo que viene siendo Bodify. Y también tenemos el atleta que viene, tenemos ex miembros que, por ejemplo, porque ya graduaron de Laredo, van a otras partes, regresan, están aquí los fines de semana, cada vez que vienen disfrutan de un buen workout, que es el mismo workout que está haciendo la persona que va comenzando, que la persona súper avanzada, y desde luego a cada quien se le da un diferente movimiento, en el sentido de que más avanzado o principiante, ¿no? Entonces tenemos desde principiantes hasta atletas de temporada, y esto también lo vemos para los challenges. Es exactamente esta clase,
sí. Es
la del challenge, ¿ok? ¿Qué pasa durante los challenges? La gente se programa una fecha, entonces desde luego se comienza a ser un poquito más responsable con la alimentación, un poquito más constante con sus ejercicios, tomar un poquito más de agua, cuidarse un poquito más en todos los sentidos, dormir, todos los aspectos que te van al final del día ayudar mucho a ver esos cambios durante el challenge. Y aquí es básicamente lo mismo. La clase que vienes a hacer aquí es la clase básicamente del challenge. Así que mientras tú tengas unos buenos hábitos o buena alimentación, los cambios los vas a ver. Si no tienes buenos hábitos y buena alimentación, bueno, tal vez no vas a ver muchos cambios, pero la salud en cuanto al músculo, pues va a estar por ahí.
Yes.
Más o menos por ahí vamos, ¿no?
Yeah, you got it exactly right. And going back to what you said about the challenge, that's between January and February. That's when people see the most results, even actually April, June, because that's when we hold challenges. And like he said, if you set your mind to a goal date, all right, we're starting January, we're finishing in March, and throughout those 8 weeks, you set your mind to that you're going to eat right, you're going to drink water, and then you're going to sleep better. Just because you have that end date, now you see more results because you've stayed more consistent. When realistically, we tell everybody, if you come here, you do your training, as long as you take care of yourself outside of the gym, you're going to see results. If you come in here and you barely eat, or you eat bad food, or you don't drink enough water, or you're only sleeping 3 to 4 hours, or you're doing way too much where you're physically stressed, that's a very underrated thing. Is I want to point out is you got to make sure that your body is not so stressed, because if it's very stressed, then cortisol levels, your stress levels are so high and your body's going to react against you. It's going to be working against you, and you're going to be thinking, I'm doing 2 to 3 workouts a day, or I'm working out 2 hours. Why am I gaining weight? And it's because of those stress levels. Is your body is just acting against you, and your metabolism just drops, your caloric burn just drops, and you start gaining weight and you start freaking out, when realistically 45 minutes to an hour a day should work and keep your body stress levels a little lower, get your sleep right, get your rest right, get your nutrition right, and I promise you'll see your results. I got sidetracked because I wanted to point out on the stress levels. But yes, this is the main program for the challenge. When people see results, if you come in here, you're going to be in a program. If you see Monday through Friday has strategic splits, so that way your body's not overly stressed. Monday and Thursday you come in and do your lower body work. Tuesday, Wednesday you got upper body, and then upper body again on Friday, which is more of a total body thing. And then the conditionings or the metcons or the HIIT workouts change throughout the week. It's a good program to follow, where you can do Monday through Friday and you're not going to die by Wednesday. So as long as you follow that program, you take care of yourself the other 23 hours of the day, there's no way you don't see results.
Y ahorita que estás dividiendo los días de la semana, bueno, también quiero ahorita aprovechar más adelante que nos expliques un poquito. Por ejemplo, si tengo una membresía de más o menos aproximadamente 3 veces a la semana, venir a Bodify, ¿qué días me recomiendas venir a la clase para obtener los mayores beneficios, ¿no? Ya que ciertos días son ciertas partes del cuerpo, pero antes de avanzar a esa parte, me gustaría preguntarte, Tony, por ejemplo, el programa de Strong, yo llego, lo hago durante un periodo de tantas semanas, se repiten los workouts, o sea, okay, ¿qué es lo que pasa? O sea, ¿cómo hay un progreso dentro del programa? Y si eso me afecta, si yo de cuenta tú vas a la mitad de ese nuevo ciclo, y si entro al final o a principios o a mediados, ¿qué nos afecta?
You can start this program anytime. So wouldn't want any member to come in on the second week of November and think like, oh, the program already started, I'm too late, I'm not as advanced. Like you mentioned before, we always modify. Our coaches right now, they're so knowledgeable, they understand the program. Now, the workouts that are prescribed in every workout, there's always a way to make it easier, there's always a way to make it harder, depending on who the person is. So if there's a beginner and it's an advanced workout, we modify it, we regress it a little bit to make sure that they learn the movement correctly. That's one of the main things is we push is you have to have the movement first correctly before you start adding some weight. But maybe someone comes in here that's already been with us for 3 years, and you don't want the workout to be so simple. You have to challenge them, because if your body doesn't get challenged, I mean, you hear the cliche, you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to change. The body has to be challenged to be forced to adapt, because if you don't force it to adapt, then overnight you're not going to grow muscle, or you're not going to get more conditioning, because you did something you were already used to. Here you have to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable, because that's how you're going to grow. That's how your body's going to change. That's how you're going to see results. But if you come in here and you use 15-pound dumbbells for 2 years, how do you expect it to change, right? So always trust the coaches. The coaches are going to be here to challenge you, increase as you come into the program, month 2, month 3, start adding more reps, start adding more resistance, start getting more control of how your muscles work, and I promise you'll start seeing some changes.
Por ejemplo, hay mucha gente que viene del típico gimnasio, ¿no? El big box gym. Hacen mucho movimiento, isolated movements, o movimientos que son en máquinas. ¿Qué diferencia hay en beneficios de cuenta de una máquina a una clase de Bodify, por ejemplo?
Okay, so big box gyms, we are the complete opposite of what a big box gym is. The reason we created Bodify Functional Fitness is we wanted to give members the best quality training. And we are Bodify Functional Fitness, so we want to make the body more functional. And for that, you have to trust your body in the movements. We don't include machines like the chest press machine or the pulling machine or the machine where the bar is attached to the squat. Why? Because those movements are controlling your movement. You're in a setting in a big box gym where you're by yourself, so people created these machines to control your movement so that you don't get hurt. But here we want you to develop that movement on your own, so we teach you the right way, where to put your feet, where to put your knees, where you move your hips, where to keep your shoulders, where to keep your arms. we want to teach you the right way because that's what's transferable to everyday life.
Creo que ahorita que mencionas eso, el movimiento más común y error que comentan las personas al levantar cosas del piso es levantarlo con la espalda, ¿no?
That's funny because I heard of somebody, we went out of town on a race and we're all together in a hotel and we had a friend that dropped the towel. I think you're the one that dropped the towel.
No, it
so
wasn't me,
it was
but
you. Somebody picked up the towel and all of a sudden her back locked out because this person didn't really train functionally. All they did was singular movements. They went to the gym and they only did squats, or they only did chest presses, they only did lateral raises. If you were to train in a format to where we incorporate total body movements, now that's functional training to where like maybe we teach you like how to do a squat to a pivot and pick up the ball and slam. If you do that here, all of a sudden if you do that not out of town, but out in everyday life, you're going to be fine. Or maybe you're bending over to pick up your child, or you're playing with your kids. Now you have more energy, more strength to play with your kids. That's the purpose of all this functional training.
Por ejemplo, en el Big Box Gym, ¿no? Estoy haciendo la máquina, o estoy haciendo my bicep curls. Estoy obteniendo el beneficio del estrés muscular. A lo mejor sí estoy haciendo un poquito más fuerte el músculo, pero está el que nomás estamos básicamente entrenando el movimiento separado o isolated movement, ¿ok? Por ejemplo, la diferencia aquí en Bodify, que son movimientos un poquito más funcionales, libres. La diferencia entre los beneficios creo que son mayores, ¿no? Al estar isolated, o básicamente en una máquina, al estar en un movimiento que, como decimos, estamos cambiando cuando vamos al mandado, la bolsa de las aguas o la cerveza, lo que ustedes quieran, levantarlo del piso, hacer un giro hacia un lado, todos esos movimientos, básicamente, digo, no entrenamos con cartones de cerveza aquí, pero sí tenemos cosas que simulan cosas pesadas y que básicamente esos movimientos pues los aplicamos en nuestra vida diaria. Y bueno, es básicamente como ustedes pueden beneficiarse de lo que es de un gimnasio que esté en máquinas a un lugar en el cual pues los entrenamos de manera eficiente y funcional, ¿no?
Yes, exactly. So the goal thing is we want you to have only one trip. Whenever you go grocery shopping, we only want you one trip holding the bags. That's our goal. But going back to the Bodify Strong is whenever it is a leg day, whenever it is a chest, shoulders, triceps, or back and biceps day, that might be the main focus of the day, but that doesn't mean that's all you're doing, because we're always going to include core movements, mobility movements, and functional movements such as that incorporated with, maybe you'll do a chest press or you do a tricep extension, but after that you're going to do a side plank doing a shoulder press while you're holding the plank. See, now that's core training, and that's functional training. That's making other muscles that you've never worked out a possibility. Some maybe on back and biceps. We'll do a back workout into a biceps workout, and then we're core movement because maybe we still want to work on our abs, or we still want to work on our transverse mobility, or for people who have been coming in the past few weeks, they've probably seen a lot of glute work. And what I like to tell people is strong glutes makes you a better person. And for somebody who cannot control their glutes or don't know how to use their glutes or their hips or kick and all that they can get hurt doing squats, they can get hurt doing lunges because your glutes follow, the ones that are I guess that handle the hip hinge. That whenever you squat, that's the biggest muscle that's going to take over. Because if you don't activate your glutes or you don't have strong glutes, then what's going to take over is your lower back. And all of a sudden your lower back's hurting and you don't come the next day anymore because my lower back hurt, and you go to the chiropractor or you go to the doctor and the doctor says take this medicine, when all realistically is just you just need better activation of your muscles.
Tony, ¿qué pasa cuando, durante una clase de Strong, ¿no? Yo obviamente llego, saludo a todo el mundo de entrada, entro a clase, el coach va sobre una explicación sobre lo que es el workout del día, y primero nos da ese warm-up guiado, ¿no? Es que ese warm-up guiado siempre va de acuerdo a las partes del cuerpo que vamos a trabajar, ¿no? Para poder comenzar a mandar un poquito de sangre, calentar el cuerpo y que comencemos con la actividad o el estrés muscular. Pero ¿qué está pasando físicamente en nuestros músculos en esos primeros dos bloques, en esos primeros dos sets? y eventualmente la parte de cardio. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando con nuestro metabolismo o qué está pasando con nuestros músculos durante la clase?
Yes, thanks for bringing up the warm-up. The warm-up shouldn't be taken lightly. The warm-up is one of the most important parts of the workout. And it's one of the main reasons we have the 5-minute rule is if you make it past 5 minutes in the class, you're not be able to let in the class because technically you're missed most of the warm-up. And that warm-up is going to prepare you for what you're about to do. We're not just doing jumping jacks, high running, or getting your heart rate up, getting your blood flowing. That's not what we're just doing. We're preparing your muscles what they're about to handle. So if we got a shoulder workout coming up, the warm-up is even more important because one of the main issues that people have is shoulder pain. So the warm-up has shoulder activating exercises. We'll do scarecrows, or we'll do front raises, or we'll do banded shoulder raises. Now your muscles are prepared to handle the dumbbells. And if you have an effective warm-up, then your cooldown doesn't have to be so effective because you've prepared yourself properly for the workout. So please take the warm-up seriously, perform well. Sometimes you're going to get tired, sometimes it's going to burn because those muscles need to be ready to go for what you're about to do so that you do not get hurt. We take it very personally when somebody gets hurt in here. We hear somebody gets hurt, we're going to find out, okay, what happened, who was coaching, what was the exercise, was the member already hurt. You come here to do things right. You don't come here to do things wrong.
Sobre todo si usted no tiene 20 años, necesita hacer el warm-up, ¿eh? Pero platícame, ¿qué está pasando en este primer bloque? Okay, recuerda que Strong está compuesto por bloques de strength, de pesas. ¿Qué es lo que sucede en ese estrés muscular durante esos primeros dos bloques?
Okay, I think we were talking about earlier today on rep ranges. So you have the first block, which is the warm-up. The first 6 to 8 portion of the class. And then you have block 1 and block 2. Now block 1 and block 2, that's your strength part. That's your muscular building part. So that's when your heart rate doesn't need to be so high. I know we've transitioned to more of a timed effort, which is 45 to 50 seconds of work in every single station. But don't worry about the rep ranges. People always think that bodybuilding or building muscle only has to do with 6 to 12 reps. Always, that's how you were taught. You go to the gym, do 8 to 10 reps of this, do 4 sets of that, and that's the only way you're going to build muscle. Which is not really the case. You talk to any people that have built muscle throughout time, they'll tell you, they do exercises sometimes up to 20 to 25 reps, and that's how you build muscle. Why? Because muscle is different. Muscle doesn't always work on 8 to 10 reps. Maybe you could do 1 to 5 working on maximum strength. Maybe you're working 8 to 10 and that's your kind of your sweet spot. But then you got to incorporate 12 to 25 reps because now that's working on that muscle, the muscular endurance, and that's when you start ripping those muscular fibers. When I say ripping in a good way, not damaging it, but when you're working out and you feel that pump and you feel your muscle stretching, those little fibers are breaking apart. So that's why when we tell you before you leave class is make sure you go home and eat your protein because that's what's going to repair that muscle. The muscle, you don't build it during class. You eat your protein, then you go to sleep, make sure you get a good rest, and that's when your hormone levels starts throwing into your body and hey, let's start growing because the next time I want you to lift more weight or the next time I want you to get a little bit bigger to be able to get stronger.
Oye, las mujeres,
I know I can go too complicated into that, but we try to give that information to the members over and over again until it sticks.
Oye, ¿las mujeres se van a poner como hombre?
No. For the females that think, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to look like a guy, if it was so easy to build muscle, I think Chu and I think we'd look like Juan.
Años.
But if it was so easy to build muscle, drugs wouldn't exist or steroids wouldn't exist for the people that want to get huge. Then it would be so easy to build muscle. Trust me, if you come up to tell me I don't want to lift weights because I want to look like a man, you know what? I dare you to
look
try.
Like a man.
Yeah, I dare you. See how long it takes you to build muscle.
Lo más que van a llegar es que no se rasuren las piernas y así se van a ver.
On a consistent program. If you stay true to your nutrition and your protein and your rest and all that, you'll gain 1 to 2 pounds a month. And trust me, that's not that's not a huge difference.
Oye, pasamos la parte de strength, los bloques, en cuanto estamos estresando el músculo, estamos haciendo básicamente la parte pesada del workout. ¿No? La pesada me refiero a las pesas. Al final de la clase siempre hay un segmento de acondicionamiento que puede durar 10 minutos, 15 minutos. ¿Cuál es el beneficio? ¿Cómo combinamos estos dos mundos del cardio y básicamente las
The
pesas?
way I like to explain when I coach is everybody needs conditioning. You know, we've already spent the first portion of the class building strength, building a little bit of muscle, but now we need to work on this muscle right here, which is the heart. So you work on conditioning, you get a stronger heart. Not only that, it opens up the blood vessels and you get more blood flow. Now, if you have more blood flow and your veins are more opened up, that means your heart has to work less. And if your heart has less beats per minute, that means you can live longer and you can stay young a lot more. So that's what the conditioning part is about. Everybody needs conditioning because of that. Well, that's just the health portion. But we work on conditioning. Why? Because we always want to burn a little bit more fat. We always want to burn more calories to start, showing when somebody says, I want to look toned, you build your muscle first and then you trim the fat.
Oye, te voy a entrar una curva aquí.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Out of script.
Out of script, none of this has been
¿Qué beneficio tiene que el corazón llegue a altos ritmos cardíacos durante un workout? ¿Qué beneficio?
¿Qué beneficio? You're talking about the conditioning part,
Yeah.
or the
What are the
part?
benefits of of our heart rate getting higher than a regular workout where you're just doing weights?
That is a very, very complicated question. There's an answer to it. But when it comes to conditioning, and I tell people, well, let's say they're on a strength part, and we have the my zones on, and we say, you know what, stay within 60 to 80% of your heart rate max. For conditioning, I say, all right, now it's time to go above that 80%. Stay on the yellow and the red, 80 to 100%. Because you're training to be with a high heart rate. And we tell you, just because your heart rate's high, still focus on technique. But now you're training your body to be able to work under a lot of stress. But that high heart rate is what's giving you that benefit of increasing your lung capacity, increasing the ability of blood being pumped throughout your whole body. And that's how your body starts feeling a lot better. You're in a better mood. You're a better person overall. You're not cranky because all of a sudden you feel a lot healthier. There's more blood flowing to your brain. There's more water flowing throughout your whole body, and you're just healthier. But you got to be able to train in that 80 to 100% of your heart rate. But what works mostly for the body fat and cutting body fat is if you work 10 to 15 minutes within that 90 to 100% range, then, some of you have noticed, you go home and you're still sweating. You go home and you're showering, you're changing, and you're still sweating. That's what's called EPOC. I don't want to go too scientific, but exhaust post-oxygen consumption. But all of that means is your body is fighting to get you back to your normal rate, your normal heart rate, and your normal systems. And for that to happen, it has to burn calories. So just think, you're burning calories here, you're driving home, you're still burning calories until your heart rate finally goes back to resting rate.
¿Cómo puedo combinar el programa de Strong? Si solamente tengo tiempo de venir 3 veces a la semana o mi membresía me permite venir solamente 3 veces a la semana.
So,
¿Qué días tengo que venir? ¿Okay? Porque cada día es distinto, ¿no? Cada día...
It's a hard question to ask. Well, not a hard answer, but it will vary. If you were coming the past 4 weeks, I would say you would have to come Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But now, since the program kind of changed, for sure come Wednesday, Thursday, but now you have to choose between, I would say come Friday.
Explain change. Update or
cambio. So when it's a program, we don't always want to do the same workouts over and over again. Now, on a scientific basis, you can do the same workouts over and over, but we want to keep the members entertained. We don't always want to do the same workouts all the time. So the exercise might change, but the variables are still the same. By variables, I mean the time and the rep range. So if somebody just enters, hey, I'm only going to do 3 times a week. For now, the week that changed, I'd say come Monday, Thursday, Friday. But you can still mix up within Tuesday, Thursday, because Tuesday is chest, shoulders, triceps, and Wednesday is back and biceps. It's going to be also based on your availability. But I'm always going to recommend come Monday through Friday.
Y siempre que tengan duda, por ejemplo, si ustedes cuentan con una membresía de 3 días para Bodify, siempre pueden acercarse con cualquiera de los coaches o, por ejemplo, front desk. Todo el mundo está informado. Cuando hacemos el cambio en ciclo o de partes del cuerpo durante la semana para el programa, siempre damos información a los coaches y staff de cómo dar la mejor recomendación de qué días pueden ustedes sacarle el mejor provecho. Desde luego, si ustedes vienen de lunes a viernes, el beneficio es mucho mejor, ¿no?
Yes, exactly. We always want to come Monday through Friday. Or maybe you're barely starting off and you want to kind of take it easy. All right, start off 1 to 3 days a week until you finally start building the endurance. But my advice is try to force yourself to come in the next day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even if you feel like you're too sore. If you wake up and you're sore, then you might want to, let's say, I'm not going today. No, try to force yourself to come because now you're forcing your body to adapt to the stress.
Oye, Tony, y por ejemplo, buena pregunta, ¿no? Pues ese es mi trabajo el día de hoy aquí, porque el que sabe de todo esto es Tony, y si hay una pregunta, si a alguien hay que preguntarle acerca del programa de Strong, definitivamente es a Tony. Y te quería preguntar ahora en cuanto a Strong, ¿por qué funciona? ¿Por qué es un gran programa? ¿Por qué estamos tan orgullosos de él? ¿Por qué nos hemos apostado ahora sí que todas nuestras canicas a este programa?
We've put all our eggs in the basket on this program because we believe it is most effective, not just based on our opinion, but based on past experiences. This is the program that people have seen the most results. Why? Because you're building up your body. In other words, you're building up that canvas, and then we have that the fat burning aspect to it. So now you're carving it up, and that's what gives you the figure. And if you follow the program, based on since 2017, we've already kind of, more along the way mastered it to what works and what members respond to and what bodies respond to, what different types of people respond to. And we've kind of catered to that and we've put it into the program. So whatever works, we're incorporating it, and from then on, we're just gonna make it better and better and better. So it's work based on results, and that's what we believe.
Resultados y ciencia.
Yes.
Oye, también
The only thing that matters in the end is results. And if we weren't seeing results, then we'd probably just say, you know what, let's go with another program.
Si usted no ve resultados, cheque su alimentación también.
Oh, yes. So if you're not seeing results, that's when you can come talk to us. We'll ask you how's your nutrition.
Pero te sigues echando un breakfast burger todas las mañanas.
Yes. Even though we tell you eat meat for protein, the McDonald's meat is not going to help you.
¿Cómo? ¿Qué?
If I tell you go eat chicken, that doesn't mean you can mix it with tortillas, frijoles, and queso, and go eat those chilaquiles. It's not the way it works.
What about barbacoa Sundays, protein?
That's more higher fat than protein than anything. So I'm not telling you have to be super strict, but 80 to 90% of your nutrition, start off like that, and then so you start building into healthier habits.
Fuera de broma, como platicábamos de este programa al inicio, ¿no? Para personas que van comenzando, que tienen tiempo que no hacen ejercicio, que nunca han hecho ejercicio, es una gran opción lo que es el entrenamiento en grupo de Bodify, sobre todo porque es una especie de entrenamiento personal en grupo, ¿ok?
Yes.
Personal en grupo. Porque
I like when you said that, just to stop you right there, is when we coach our coaches or when we have meetings and coaches give us feedback, we always like to come back to that. Yes, it's group fitness, but it's more of a, I guess, speed personal training, because we want you to interact with each and every member, whether it's one member in class or it's 40 people in class. We want you to go around and looking at every single person in class, because that's who we are. We want to look at your form, we want to look at your technique. And we don't want any member to leave saying, "Oh, the coach didn't help us," or "I was doing the technique wrong and nobody helped me." That's what we emphasize.
Y nos preocupamos por la experiencia no solamente los resultados, sino también la experiencia de cada uno de ustedes, tanto las personas que nunca han llegado a tomar una clase aquí, como la persona que tiene 3, 4, 5 años aquí con nosotros, que esa experiencia cada semana, cada día siga siendo buena, positiva, que se diviertan sobre todo, que disfruten los workouts. Esto por ejemplo, para el programa de Strong es para todo el mundo. Si nunca han probado una clase o tienen tiempo que no han venido a tomar una clase, vengan y tomen la experiencia de lo que es el programa de Strong. Donde vamos a estar publicando, pues desde luego, mucha más información en nuestras redes sociales de lo que hemos estado platicando el día de hoy. Tony, si alguien te tiene una pregunta, ¿a dónde te pueden contactar?
You can call me here at gym 568-0383, which is 956, or you can send me an email, Tony at Bodify Fitness. If not, you can send a message directly to the Bodify Laredo page, and then I'll find a way to contact you. If you have a question, go ahead and send it. We'll respond. But one thing I want to mention is we're here. Bodify, the main gym right now, we're in the north, but we want to invite everybody to who maybe have not been able to have a chance to try Bodify. We have a Bodify in the south because of location, so hopefully that helps. So we've expanded to the south. We're bringing this program to the south side because why we believe that this program can help. We're trying to help as many people as possible, and the only way we can do that is be in separate locations of the city.
Así que si quieren tomar una clase gratuita, simplemente mándenos un mensaje a través de redes sociales. Nos pueden seguir en @Bodify Laredo, @Bodify Laredo, en todas partes. Y también ahora tenemos Bodify at Southgate, que es la locación del sur. Pero cualquiera de las dos vías, le estaremos contestando y dando más información. Sony, ¿qué se nos escapa?
I can't think of anything right now.
No?
Other than, where are we at? We're in November? It's already going to be November.
Sí, mañana es noviembre.
So just be on the lookout.
Hoy es Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Oh, yes. Be careful with all that sugar. Don't be eating too much candy. Have one or two maybe. But make sure you put in a workout throughout the day. But the holidays are coming up. So now is when you need to double down on your fitness because those tamales are coming. That big feast on Thanksgiving is coming. Those buñuelos are coming. Try to fight the holidays and stay in shape this winter.
Yo les recomendaría que, o sea, si no piensan mejorar su alimentación durante las próximas semanas, al menos comiencen con la actividad física ya. Vengan 2-3 veces a la semana. Comiencen por una parte, porque no podemos ir de 0 a 100 en enero. No podemos cambiar la alimentación de 0 a 100. Va a ser muy, 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 muy difícil que nos mantengamos en esa línea del éxito en cuanto a los resultados que ustedes quieren obtener. Será muy difícil cambiar de 0 a 100 en cuanto, 1, la alimentación. 2, en que ustedes puedan adaptar una rutina de ejercicio de ir 0 a también de lunes a viernes. Será muy difícil. Comiencen despacio. Comiencen saliendo a caminar. Comiencen saliendo a tomar 1-2 clases aquí en Bodify. Y así, poco a poco, para cuando inicie el año, ustedes ahora sí le cambian simplemente a la alimentación, la ajustan o toman asesoría de alguien que les dé la asesoría nutricional adecuada y la parte del fitness, pues ya llevan al menos 3 días que están acostumbrados de ir y si le aumentan otros 2 o por qué no, toda la semana, créanme que para cuando ustedes menos piensen, podrían ser los próximos ganadores del próximo challenge.
See? Don't be that person that says, I'll start January. Or don't be that person that says, I'll start on Monday. You know, I've heard even people say, yeah, I'll start next Monday, and it's barely Tuesday. Like, start now, and then by the time January rolls along, you already know what you're doing. You've already adapted to the training, and you can only start getting better from there. And one last thing is, for some of you that come in and want to see immediate results, just think that wherever you are right now didn't happen from one day to the next. You know, it happened gradually. Maybe you gained a little bit of weight, or maybe you lost muscle, or maybe you lost strength, or maybe you got a little bit unhealthy. That didn't happen overnight. It took time to get there. So when you come in here, start a program, don't get impatient, kind of trust the process. As long as you stay consistent, you start seeing results, and it's going to happen over time.
Va a doler al principio, ¿no? Viene el soreness, viene que sean desadoloridos, ¿no? Porque comienzas a mover tu cuerpo. Es el proceso de inicio es doloroso, pero la recompensa al final valdrá la pena, ¿eh?
Whenever there's a new person that comes in here, obviously we're focusing on giving them the great experience. We tell them to do the workout, but one of the main things that I make it a point to say is tomorrow you will be sore. Not if, you're gonna be sore. Don't wake up and feel that pain and say, I'm not gonna show up anymore. Force yourself to show up. I'm telling you now so you can expect it and show up tomorrow.
Perfecto. Tony, Muchísimas gracias. Creo que no será el último podcast. Podemos ir hablando más acerca del programa de Strong. Pero creo que habremos que hacer una serie de mini episodes en las cuales platiquemos tal vez en el día del leg day.
Oh, yes. We can talk specific
biceps,
days.
specific days. Y bueno, les prometo una miniserie. Aquí agendar al señor Ferdin.
Put it on the calendar. We'll do it.
Perfecto. Tony, ¿algo más?
That's it. I'll see you here.
Perfecto, bueno, pues no se olviden checar más episodios, no sé si antes o después, pero estaremos grabando más acerca de nuestro nuevo programa de entrenamiento de clases de especialidad. En cuanto a Sport and Training, viene una gran serie de carreras para el 2024 aquí en Texas, una carrera fuera de Texas que vamos también a invitar a muchos de los miembros, y además de eso la nueva temporada de DECA, que les voy a platicar cómo vamos a hacer un serial local y ustedes podrían ser pues ganadores de este serial localmente y además lograr participar a nivel mundial o nacional aquí con DECA, ¿ok? Muchísimas gracias por estar en sintonía, Tony. Gracias nuevamente.
Gracias.
This episode was produced by Bodify Functional Fitness.